everybody, welcome to a new Djembe video, and here we are going to go over a Djembe exercise to develop our power and dynamics in the Djembe. Exercises are a great way to develop, just to progress faster, because we can choose a specific goal, specific aspect in the Djembe and work on it. So that way we'll progress faster. And this exercise today in this video is going to work a lot on our power, the ability to project sound, and dynamics, and also transitioning from different dynamics like this, because that's what we want. We want control over the instrument, so that's what we are aiming for here. So let's go. I'm going to demonstrate it right now, and then we'll break it down. Let's go. This is the exercise. It's very simple, so let's break it down. Let's start with the pattern. The pattern is very simple. Bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap. We start with our dominant hand and we play hand to hand, one hand after the other. Bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap. 1, 2, 3, bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap, bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap, bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap. This is the pattern, very simple. So now let's break down the exercise. So the first part of the exercise, we are going to play this pattern 4 times, and we are going to play it in a very quietly, very low dynamic, not like this. Which means we are not going to use power, we are not going to use tension at all. We are going to have to rely on our technique to produce the sounds correctly from the djembe, the bass, the tone, and the slap. This is the first part of the exercise. This pattern 4 times in a very low dynamic. Now for the second part of the exercise, we're going to do the same pattern 4 times as well, but this time now we are going to up the dynamic and project the sound a lot, as much as we can. And the way that we are going to do that is we are going to leverage our forearms and we are going to work with our elbows a lot. So we are going to play the pattern this way. So notice I'm not using any strength. I'm just leveraging the weight of my forearms. I'm just moving my forearms using the elbow, just up, down, that's all. And I'm just using the weight, the natural weight that's produced by just by the weight of my forearms and gravity, and that's all. And for the third part of the exercise, we are going to do the same pattern 4 times as well, also as loudly as we can, projecting sound as much as we can, but this time we are not going to use our forearms. We are going to try to rely as much as we can on our wrists. So the way that we'll do that is we're going to play the pattern as close as possible as we can to the instrument, to the head, to the skin of the djembe, without moving the arms too much. So just from here, the wrist. And also I forgot to mention the second part of the exercise, when we are using our elbows, try to be mindful of that elbows, not the whole arm. We don't want to use the whole arm to all shoulders, just from the elbow. Tuck, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, and for the third part of the exercise, like I just said, is the wrist. That's what we are going to use for the most part. We are going to rely as much as we can on the wrists. And that's it, that's the exercise. And the reason why we have to develop, well, one of the reasons we have to develop also our wrists, because you could ask, you can project sound pretty clearly just using your elbows, your forearms. And that's very much more relaxed. You don't use any power almost. But you also have to develop your wrists for many reasons. One of them is because when you get to faster tempos, and in the djembe it's very common to play very, very fast at higher tempos, you can't, and if you want to play fast and project sound at the same time, you can't rely only on these elbows, because the faster you go, the less time you will have to do this whole movement of up and down. You will not have time to do this, so you will only have time to do this. So at that point you'll have to do a mix of elbow and wrist. So that's why you want to develop the wrists as well, or one of the reasons. And that's it, that's the exercise. And for this exercise you should use a metronome. All exercises you should use a metronome, but this one specifically you should use a metronome. And the reason is because we are changing dynamics. Sometimes we are playing very loudly and then very quietly. And when we change dynamics, there's a natural tendency to change the tempo as well. If you start playing very loudly, you have a tendency to speed up the tempo as well. And if you decrease, if you start playing very quietly, you'll have a tendency to slow down the tempo. But we don't want that. We want the tempo to remain constant. What we want to change is the dynamic, not the tempo. So use a metronome. If you don't have it, just very easily you'll find online free apps, free metronome apps. And also, you should warm up. You should always warm up, but again, specifically for this exercise, you should warm up your elbows because of the second part of the exercise, where we are using a lot of our forearms, and your wrists because of the third part of the exercise, where we are depending a lot on our wrists. So for the elbows, you can just do this movement. I don't know if you can see, so just this, both inward and outward, in and out. This movement will warm up your elbows. And for your wrist, something like this, up and down, or like this, or like this. And of course your forearms, like this and like this. So definitely warm up very well your elbows, wrists and forearms for this exercise. Use a metronome and practice, because again, the exercises are great to develop faster, and this exercise will definitely develop your power and your ability to transition between different dynamics, and just will improve your overall control over the instrument. So I'm just going to demonstrate the exercise once again. This time I'll do it 2 times, just to have a better idea, and then I'll log off. So once again, 1, 2, 3. That's it, crystal clear exercise to develop our power and dynamics in the djembe. I hope you got something out of this video. Practice, and I'll see you in the next one. Be well. Bye.